Fire changed everything. You've heard that your entire life. Teachers said it. Documentaries said it. History books open with it. It's one of those facts, so well known that it stopped meaning anything a long time ago. But here's what nobody actually explains. Fire didn't just keep humans warm. It didn't just scare away predators. Fire physically rebuilt the human brain. It changed what our bodies look like. It altered how long we live. It may have created language, culture, and everything we recognize as human consciousness. And it happened so gradually that the humans it was changing had absolutely no idea it was happening. To understand what fire actually did, you first have to understand what life looked like before it. Imagine an early human ancestor, roughly 2 million years ago, smaller than you, much smaller brain, enormous jaw and gut because digesting raw food takes serious biological machinery. This creature spent most of its waking hours doing one thing, eating. Raw plants are difficult to break down. Raw meat is tough and dangerous. 2. Extract enough calories from uncooked food to fuel even a modest brain. Early human ancestors had to eat almost constantly. Think about how limiting that is. If most of your day is spent chewing and digesting, there isn't much time left for anything else. And when the sun went down, everything stopped. Darkness meant predators. Lions, leopards, hyenas, all of them hunted at night. Early human ancestors climbed into trees or huddled silently in the dark, waiting for sunrise, barely sleeping because sleeping. On the ground in the dark was a very efficient way to die. This was human life for a very long time. Then, somewhere between 400,000 and 1 million years ago, something changed. The exact date is still debated, but the evidence is clear. Humans began controlling fire, and the first thing fire changed had nothing to do with warmth or protection. It changed dinner. In the 1990s, a Harvard primatologist named Richard Wrangham proposed something that sounded almost too simple. He argued that cooking food was not just a convenience, it was the engine that drove human evolution. His idea became known as the cooking hypothesis, and the more scientists tested it, the harder it became to argue with. Here's the core of it. Cooking breaks down food before it enters your body. Heat pre-digests proteins, softens fibers, kills parasites, and unlocks calories that would otherwise be locked away inside raw cells. When you cook a potato, your body can extract roughly twice the energy compared to eating it raw. Same, potato, twice the fuel. For early humans, this was a biological revolution. Suddenly, the same amount of food produced far more energy, which meant early humans didn't need to spend all day eating anymore, which meant they needed less gut to process food. And evolution is ruthless about energy. If you don't need it, it disappears. Over tens of thousands of generations, the human digestive system shrank. Human intestines are dramatically shorter than those of other great apes relative to body size. Human teeth and jaws became smaller. The enormous chewing muscles that other primates rely on reduced dramatically. And the energy that used to power all of that digestion had to go somewhere. It went to the brain. The human brain is one of the most expensive organs in biology. It consumes roughly 20% of your body's total energy while accounting for only about 2% of your body weight. Running a brain this large requires a constant, enormous caloric surplus. Raw food couldn't reliably provide that surplus. Cooked food could. Wrangham's argument is that cooking didn't happen because humans were intelligent. Humans became intelligent because cooking happened. The fire came first. The brain followed. But fire didn't stop there. The second thing fire changed was time. Before fire, the human day ended at sunset. After fire, it didn't. For the first time in the history of our species, humans had safe hours in the dark. A fire burning at the center of a camp kept predators away. It provided warmth. It provided light. And suddenly, humans had something completely new. Evening. Anthropologists studying modern hunter-gatherer groups have found something remarkable about what happens around campfires at night. During the day, conversations in these groups focus almost entirely on practical matters, food, tools, movement, logistics. But at night, around the fire, the content of conversation shifts dramatically. Stories emerge. People describe distant places they've never visited. They talk about people who died before they were born. They imagine the future. Researchers believe this is not coincidence. Firelight created the first protected space for the human imagination. Before fire, keeping quiet after dark was survival. After fire, talking after dark became possible. And talking led to something fire's inventors never anticipated: language. Not language in the simple sense of warning calls or basic communication. Other animals do that. But the kind of language that can describe things that don't exist yet: plans, stories, hypotheticals, beliefs. The kind of language that lets one generation pass knowledge to the next without the next generation having to relearn everything from scratch. Every book ever written, every scientific discovery, every religious tradition, every piece of music, all of it descends from conversations that began around fires in the dark. And fire changed something else that almost nobody talks about. It changed how humans sleep. Humans sleep very differently from every other primate. Other great apes sleep lightly, in trees, easily startled, because sleeping deeply on the ground is dangerous. Humans are the opposite. We have the shortest sleep duration of any primate, but we pack far more REM sleep into those hours than any of our closest relatives. REM is the deep, restorative phase where the brain consolidates memories, processes emotions, and runs the maintenance cycles that make complex thinking possible the following day. Scientists believe this dramatic shift in sleep architecture happened because of fire. A campfire made sleeping on the ground survivable, which meant humans could finally sleep deeply and safely without being ambushed, which meant the brain could run longer, more thorough maintenance cycles every single night, which meant waking up with a more consolidated, sharper, more capable mind each morning. The campfire didn't just light up the darkness, it upgraded the human brain every time humans went to sleep beside it. Think about the last time you sat around a fire, a campfire, a fireplace, even a cluster of candles at a dinner table. Something happens to people in that setting. Conversations slow down, stories come out, people say things they wouldn't say under bright office lights. Time moves differently. That feeling isn't nostalgia. It's far older than nostalgia. It's a memory encoded into human neurology across hundreds of, thousands of years of sitting in exactly that situation, in the dark, beside flames, talking to the people who mattered most. Because for most of human history, that circle around the fire was not just a comfortable place to sit, it was the only place where humans were truly safe after dark, where children could sleep without fear, where the injured could recover, where the elderly could survive winters they otherwise wouldn't, where ideas could be spoken out loud for the first time. Every conversation you've ever had that felt truly meaningful, every story that changed how you saw the world, every night that ended with the sense that something real had passed between you and another person. All of it traces back to a circle of people sitting in the dark around a fire they had learned to control in a world they were only beginning to understand. Fire changed everything. Now you know what everything actually means.